How different is this particular move from historical moves when it comes to things like the Industrial Revolution, for example?
I think in many ways it's actually a similar scale, which is actually quite large. At the same time, it's a new set of activities which now can be automated. We're seeing artificial intelligence being able to automate the activities not only of frontline, low-wage workers, but increasingly workers such as lawyers, doctors, and MBAs. And so now we're seeing this truly be widespread in terms of its impact. But there are all these predictions about a robot apocalypse, all the jobs going away. And when we took seriously how long it takes for some of these technologies to be adopted and the new potential for new work demand to be generated by a number of different factors, we did find there's probably enough work for people to do, but it'll be a tremendous retraining challenge to get people from the jobs of today to the jobs of tomorrow.
Well, you know, we used to speak to the Labour Secretary every month, particularly during the last administration. He used to say, you know, we are putting a lot of money back into retraining. There's programs all over the country, and yet we found that it was very difficult for people to switch occupations. Witness the coal miners now having such a difficult time. How does that get done? Well,
it is a grand challenge. I think it might be one of the grand challenges for the next couple of decades. You know, as somebody who lives in California, I have an optimistic view on things. You know, as you said before, in history, we have been able to do that. When people moved from farm to factory, that was a huge change. And at the time that story began, there was no universal secondary schools. That was a huge investment, actually a social movement, the high school movement. I think the question for us now, both as business leaders as well as in the public policy realm, is what are the analogous sets of investments that have to be made so that in fact we can continue to have people continue to work, because there will be enough work for people to do.
What new occupations will be created, Michael, that don't exist today as a result of automation?
Well, I think we're going to be limited in our ability to invent or to know and predict ahead of time what these new occupations might be. I sometimes tell a story, you know, across the bay from where I live in San Francisco, there's a stadium where people will pay money to watch other people play professional video games. That's not something we could have predicted. But we do know over history, different studies show, you know, perhaps 0.5% every year of new occupations are generated. That said, we also modeled a number of different activities which we know, you know, could drive additional labor demand, even though they're occupations which exist today but will change the activities they do.